When you're shooting these little features, one, you hope you have a good script, but two, a lot of times you don't get a lot of prep on them either, so you have to go in and really hit the ground running. The Mary Pickford movie I shot back in December a year ago, that was kind of an exception. I started meeting with the director 6 or 8 months out. We talked concepts and looked at art and had just different discussions. And then about a month before we started the film, the art director came in, the costumer came in, and we started really going through, well, this is the look of the film, this is what we're thinking about. We had all these reference photos and stuff like that. That was a luxury. The one I did in May is called Bad Stepmother. It was a Lifetime movie. It aired about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had about a week of prep on that and then 12 days to shoot it. My grip and electrical crew consisted of a gaffer and a helper. I had everything was in a truck. All the lights and grip equipment was in a truck where everything had to come off to get to anything. And we looked at a lot of, the main part of the movie takes place in a mansion, and I said no white walls, because as we all know, when we get white walls, when you go into color correct and you adjust somebody's skin tone, the walls change. So we had a mansion with white walls. If I tried to do everything off a tripod, we're never going to make the schedule. And so we decided to do the movie handheld with a fig rig. How many people know what a fig rig is? Yeah, the little steering wheel with the bar in it. And so I took the fig rig, I put an Alexa Mini in the fig rig, pressed and follow focus, wireless audio link, Teradeck transmitter, everything in this little thing, and holding it out in front of you. And that way I could do Steadicam-like moves, but it still had that handheld jitter to it. And the producers and the director thought that was a pretty cool idea, so we did it. And so the whole movie, there's a couple of tripod shots in it, but the majority of the movie is shot all handheld. When she falls off the boat, that was the Alexa Mini at 200 frames a second of her falling off the boat. I just stood right down there next to on a fig rig we had all the little boxes that the stunt people put out and their pads and all that stuff, and I just got there right next to the pads, and she just fell right into me. And the advantage of that too is if she misses a little bit, I can step out of the way. We shot that boat sequence in a day. It was basically, we took the fig rig with the Alexa Mini on the boat, a box of lenses, a few cards, some batteries, and we're ready to go. I mean, I had my camera team. I had a first assistant, a second assistant, and a digital utility sort of person. But the great part about that is when I needed to hand the camera off to somebody while I was lighting, I'd say, okay, you hold the camera, I'll go back and look at the monitor. I could line it up, adjust, all that kind of stuff. I don't usually shoot 4K unless they really want it, because that's more expensive and more hard drives and more editing space. And I had, on the last movie, the producer came to me and said, I want to shoot it on that camera that's named after a color, you know. And I said, why do you want to do that? And he said, so I can repo the image. And I'm like, well, why don't you just frame it right the first time, you know? I mean, you know, you don't want to be reproing this stuff. You know, I've been a camera operator since 1979. I know how to frame a picture. I don't want people coming in there doing it after me, you know? Especially if they never ask your permission. They just do it, and then all of a sudden everybody's got their head chopped off, or they're, you know, or hanging from their chin, and it's like, what happened? Oh, we fixed it. I'm like, no, you didn't fix it. I get the fastest lenses I can find. You know, the Mary Pickford movie, we had Panavision's 1.0 lenses, and I shoot them that way. And I'll even, and this movie here was all shot all on Panavision lenses too. The last one I did was shot on Zeiss Super Speeds. But I'll use NDs indoors to open the lenses up as wide as I can get, because sometimes the sets aren't that great and I want to make the backgrounds fall out. Even if I don't use them as fast as I can, I like having that ability to control depth of field. Don't get too hung up on specs. Look at the pictures, you know. I mean, that's one thing, is we're getting hung up now on specifications, on like, you know, I got to have this many Ks, or I've got to have, you know, look at the pictures. What camera looks the best? The Alexa to me is the most filmic looking camera out there. I take old Zeiss Super Speeds, I put them on an Alexa, and it looks like they did on a 35BL. the lenses look the same. The image looks very similar. I mean, it's not film. Film is better, but electronic is more convenient in some ways. You just have to carry more stuff. You know, with film, we carried a battery, a camera, a cable, and a lens, and we could shoot. With electronic, you carry monitors and carts and batteries that size of, you carry a lot of stuff, and even the Mini is pretty power hungry. One of the things I love about the little Canons is they look very close to an area, but the little batteries, you can put 5 of them in your pocket and they last for a long time. I mean, if you're really going to go out like in the middle of Joshua Tree and climb the Boulder Mountains and want to get a shot off the top of that, you could drop 5 batteries in your pocket, put a little zoom on the Canon, and you can shoot all day long. We had a very good AD department that laid out everything. We're going to be here on this day, here on this day. And we tried to shoot out different things in different blocks when we were at locations, so we had to do as few company moves as possible. And that's really a tricky part of it. You have to use your noggin, you know. That's the really trick to doing this stuff, is you really have to think it through. You have to plan. And when you see something, look at it and see the problems and see the opportunities very quickly. Because otherwise you're not going to make it. Hire good people and let them do their job. I mean, you hire people better than you are and let them do their job. That's what I do.